So in whatever position you're in, sit up straight. Press your fingertips down, lengthen through your side waist and side chest. Move your arm bones back to bring your shoulder blades into your back. With your shoulder blades pressing into your back, broaden across your collarbones. Keep that. Rest your hands on your thighs and close your eyes. Descend your thighs. With equal and even weight, your two sitting bones lengthen up through your front of your body. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. Take slow, even breaths. And then gently open your eyes. All right, stand up. Have some blocks nearby if you have them. If not, that'll work too. Stand Tadasana. I'll have my feet apart, but yours can be together. So for me, the feet apart cools me down a little bit because when I put my legs together, there's a lot of heat going on here. So I like to take my legs apart in line with my hips so that when I stand Tadasana, there's some air movement. All right. So balance the weight evenly on your 2 feet, whether together or apart. Lift your quadriceps up. Lift up through the side waist, the side chest. Extend your arms, roll your shoulders back, look straight forward. Then place your hands on your hips, take your elbows back, fold halfway down. So now, if you need the bricks, place your hands on the bricks. Or if you don't have bricks, place your hands on your shins or the floor. Now, isometrically scrape your hands back towards your feet to move your chest forward. Take your inner elbows forward to bring your shoulder blades deeply into your back. And then press your thighs back, extend your chest forward to get more space in your spine. Now take your hands to the sides. Bend your elbows,
lower the crown of your head towards the floor. So if you need blocks, it would look like this. And move the elbows toward the head side. So they can bring back like towards the knees, and they can be forward towards the head side. So notice the difference between those two. Mostly on your neck. So. Then bring your hands to your hips, elbows towards the ceiling. Look forward, buttocks towards your heels. Inhale, come up. All right, so if you're one of the millions that suffer back pain, you're going to do the same thing with your hands on your hips. If not, then bring your arms in Urdhva Hastasana, extend up, exhale, fold forward, hands to your floor, back by the feet. Hands forward, inhale, up, Urdhva Hastasana. So figure it out which works better for you, hands on your hips or hands up, exhale down, back, arms forward, inhale back up. Okay, so we're going to do that 8 more times. You count on your own. Forward. Keep your quadriceps lifted. Legs fully engaged. Moving your buttocks towards your heels on the way up. Keep your jaw soft. Arms straight. And once you've done 8, come back to Tadasana. I can't remember if I did 8 or 9, but okay. Now come into downward facing dog pose. Press your hands down and forward, thighs back. Press evenly through the right and left hand, the right and left foot. Move the area between your shoulder blades towards the floor, the dorsal spine. Turn your upper arms out. Look forward at your hands, and then you can step or hop forward and fold. Then look back toward where your feet were, bend your knees, step or hop back. So if you're stepping, you're going to switch the legs. So if you did the left leg, now you're going to do the right leg. Look forward at your hands. Come forward, fold, bend your knees, jump back. All right, so just like the other one, we're going to do that 8 more times. Forward, how the feet end up. I think we talked about this last week. How one foot comes forward to the other foot, or maybe one turns out. And unfortunately, because I was talking, I lost the book. So you do 8 of your own. Hopefully you're counting, or just do a lot. And then hands on the hips, back to Tadasana. All right. So if you're like me and you're working on tile, then you might want a little extra padding. Soko, I know you like a little extra padding for this. So put the padding down if you need it. And come into Dandasana. Put your hands down, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Squeeze your legs together. Lean back, bend your knees, lift your legs up, bend your knees, take your legs down, lean back, bend your knees, lift your legs up, bend your knees, take your legs down. Okay, so you can do it that way, or you can lean back, lift your legs, come forward, legs down. Up, and back down. Up, extend your arms, lift your arms up, legs down, legs up, arms down, legs down, arms up, legs up, arms down. For some reason this is confusing me. Legs down, arms up. 2 more. Legs up, legs down, legs up, legs down, arms down. All right. Now, all of you have been to class, so I know you know this one. So you can stay with this one, or you can keep going that way. So you take your legs over your head through Parikarnavasana. So either this one, and you can add Paschimottanasana in there, or throw your legs over your head, roll down, fling yourself around. Now, not all of you will have room for this. Watch out for furniture. Small children, large children. And of course, doing this more slowly is more difficult. And finish up your last one. Return to Dandasana. Now, of course, you could add
Coming all the way up to that, although this isn't quite long enough for that. Almost. There we go. So do 3 more, possibly adding that little jump at the end. Why not? Right? Of course, right. A little fiddler on the roof reference there. It's easier with wider legs for those that are tight. Excellent. All right. Come to standing, take your feet sticky mat distance apart, or you can keep going. Press your thighs back as you bend forward and grab the opposite elbow. If that doesn't work for you, grab your shins. Keep your quadriceps lifted. Lift the backs of the thighs up towards the ceiling as the arms and torso hang down towards the floor. All right, walk your hands forward, lift your chest, take a full breath. Inhale all the way back up. Okay, come to all fours. Getting ready for Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Spread your fingers well, press the palms of your hands into the floor, tuck your toes underneath and come up into Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Have your dog pose be a little longer than normal. So maybe half a step back. Then come forward to plank, through plank to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. You're gonna have your toes tucked under, keep your quadriceps lifted. Yeah, we're gonna add that too, so Bo, not to worry. And then lifting from the buttocks back to downward facing dog, long dog. Now you have to adjust, and I'm saying a long dog because when you come into, you can just watch for a second if you want to do it right. When you come into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, you don't want your shoulders forward of your wrists like this. Hopefully you can see, but I can't hold this for that long. You want your shoulders above your wrists, all right? So that requires a long dog, usually. If your dog's too short, it comes too far forward. All right, so back into downward facing dog. Deep breath. Forward to plank. Chest forward, shoulders back, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Lifting from the hips, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you might guess that there's a theme today. Forward, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Forward plank. All right, so now you have to judge. Can you, with control and some sort of grace, come through Chaturanga Dandasana, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath.
plank. And you don't have to add the chaturanga. And then Urdhva Mukha. Adho. All right. Do 4 more. I think that's right. I'm doing 10 of each thing. Forward and through and back. So it's like a Saranamashkar that's broken down into its component parts. That's basically what we're doing, except I add that ab thing. All right, if you're doing chaturanga, I think this is the last one, although I'm losing count. Go from chaturanga to Urdhva Mukha, chaturanga, lifting from the hips, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, take your knees wide apart, toes together. Child's pose. Marisa, did you have a question? You could just give me a thumbs up if you do. No, okay. Did we lose somebody? I think we did. Okay. Come up to all fours again.
Mary, I've got a question
Sure.
on chaturanga.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go down all the way into an absolute correct chaturanga. I don't have the strength, but I go down as far as I can, keeping my shoulder girdle, is that correct? I should try at least, right?
Yeah, because I mean, if you never do it, then you won't be able to do it.
Yeah, and you'll just lose more and more strength, right?
Yeah, so if, I think we've talked about this, where for some people, by changing the angle, it's easier.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely easier for me for up dog, although these blocks aren't. But that angle's not as obvious. But
Yeah.
even any kind of angle change will change chaturanga. And for those that are just hardcore, the angle change the other way will also change chaturanga. We don't usually teach that. But just in case, you need something else. So yeah, I would do it. I frequently teach, like you might do that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
So that's perfectly fine. Because
Okay.
you're still doing a bit of a push-up. So yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So the theme of 10 is over. So if you have a wall, you're going to come away from the wall and lift one leg up and maybe walk back towards the wall. If you don't have a wall, don't worry about it. You can still lift one leg up, so, or even one leg up, okay? So find a wall. I'm going to show without a wall. Lift your right leg up, toes pointing down, and then as you bring your torso towards your left leg, so you can either walk your feet up the wall, keeping both legs straight, or you don't have the wall, then as you lower your torso down, the right leg lifts up. Then lower the right leg down. Take a breath. Lift your left leg up. Both legs straight. So as you tuck the toes of the left leg under, you can press the thigh towards the ceiling. Keep the right quadricep engaged. That's down leg. And then either walk the foot up the wall, maybe, if it will go. Or as the torso moves towards the down leg, the up leg lifts up. And lower that leg back down. Place your hands on your hips, stand back up.
All right, Prasada Tadasana. So take your legs wide. Hands on your hips, elbows back. Press your thighs back. Inhale with an exhalation, fold forward. Bring your hands to the ground, extend your chest forward. Yep. And then with your next exhalation, walk your hands back and rest your head. Now, if your head won't rest on the ground and you have something to put it on, go ahead and put something under your head. If you don't, you probably have a couch. And keep your head down, but press your hands into the ground and move your shoulder blades up your back. So your shoulders are away from your ears. I believe one student told me, don't wear your shoulders as earrings. That was an expression at one time. So don't wear your shoulders as earrings. In fact, move them as far away from your ears as possible. Look at your elbows. See that your elbows are more or less in line with your wrists. And move your elbows slightly towards each other, lifting your shoulder blades up. And you might feel some freedom come to the neck. Then with your next inhalation, extend your chest forward. Then with your next inhalation, bring your hands to your hips, lift yourself up. Step your feet together. All right. So now is the part where we get upside down. So, if you're not standing on your head, then you can place your elbows on the floor and lift up for a little while, but press your arms into the floor, but keep your shoulders moving away from the floor. It's a very difficult combination when your hands are interlocked. It was much easier to do here, to lift your shoulders up, than it is here. So you can either have your feet wide apart or more like dog pose. You have your head on the floor. If you don't like the pressure under your head, then don't have the head on the floor. I'm going to turn so that I can see the cameras. See you guys more accurately, and really what I want to see, I don't want to see the cameras. So the other choice, of course, is a headstand. But when you're coming up with the headstand, keep your forearms pressing into the floor and move your shoulders away from your ears. So if you're using a wall, be near the wall.
In whatever position you're in, relax your jaw, relax your throat. Don't grip your neck. Don't grip your throat. Now press your forearms into the floor, lift your shoulder blades up your back. Here too, for those of warmer body, you can take your legs slightly apart. I frequently do, especially if it's going to be a long Shirshasana. I take my legs apart, let the air flow. Good. It is a little easier to balance if your legs are together. Not a lot easier, but a little. Roll your thighs inwards, lift your buttocks up. And then you're going to come down very shortly. So press your forearms into the floor and keep your focus there. So however you need to come down to keep your focus in your forearms, do that. And rest with your head down. Anubha Virasana. All right, place your hands. You remember when we did the forward bend, Uttanasana? We took our hands to the side and moved our elbows forward. So with your head down on the mat, see how that feels on your neck. Sometimes that can release the neck after headstand if you have any tension in it. And then press your palms into the floor. Come all the way up. All right, so I learned a new way to measure for L pose, and I want you to try it, and you can give me feedback after class. I didn't like it as much, but I'm going to show it to you because it might work better. So what you do is you take your toes to the wall, and you come back into child's pose and extend your hands forward. Then, make sure this mat doesn't move. You come up into dog pose, put one foot on the wall, the other foot on the wall, and come into L pose. So try it that way, and then you can give me feedback on what you thought. So it's a little easier way to measure, especially for people that have never measured before. So toes to the wall, arms forward, then, oh wait, come up into dog pose, keep your hands where they are, lift your legs up. You can try that measurement. So we're all doing L pose to begin with, or whatever, your half handstand, whatever you want to call it. And then come down, rest. Oh, okay, I guess we're gonna get feedback now, so.
Very more easy.
It's easier?
Yeah, it's a comfort, more comfort, and my legs have.
Sorry, I unmuted everybody. Okay, there we go.
Every time you.
Okay, sorry. So you're gonna have to unmute yourself to talk, because
I felt more pressure on my wrists. I felt like my hands were not under my shoulders. They were in front of my shoulders.
they were for me too.
And so, I mean, it was, I don't have any trouble getting up into that pose, but it didn't feel very comfortable for my wrists.
Okay.
Yeah, my
So-
hands are too far forward.
Your hands are too far forward.
Yeah.
Same
I
here.
think it depends on the length of your arms and your torso.
Depends on the length of your torso, I think.
Yeah.
Because for Chaya, who has long arms and legs, so the length of your arms and the length of your legs, kind of about this, when you can really, when you have all this length here, I think I mean, that's my guess. I don't know.
I have really long arms and legs, but I've got a very, very short torso.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've got to adapt to that.
Yeah, I thought it was comfortable. I did feel my hands were a little bit too far forward, but it was comfortable.
Okay. Try it the other way.
Okay.
All right. You're getting muted again. So try it the way where you measure your leg, which is probably a more accurate way. But if you're doing it for the first time or teaching somebody for the first time, it feels way too close to the wall. I mean, I remember, you remember when you first did it. I remember when I first did it. It felt like I was way too close to the wall and I needed to walk my legs up or take my arms forward. And then walk back down.
But Mary, this is a preparation for a handstand, right?
Yeah.
So eventually in a handstand, the shoulders are right over the wrists.
Yes. But it's easier, like dog pose is easier than plank.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah.
So when we take
It's like step one.
if you take the arms further forward,
It's easier to get up.
it's easier.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's like step one toward.
Yeah, toward this, and then toward this, and then I'm not going to do that because I'll fall on my butt. But so it's a progression. So I think having the arms a little further forward for most people is easier. It may hurt the wrist more or not, but I think that's where it was kind of going. But it was also just a quick way if you have people you don't know to get them up. You can't put your feet on their shoulders, So anyway, if you now have the strong desire to go stand on your hands, do that. So if you were lifting one leg, switch. Or do the first one, or just take a rest. There's nothing wrong with resting. Straighten those elbows, Bob. Yeah. Think about your elbows, Sopo. There you go. That's actually part of the problem with the bolster, is it encourages you to bend your elbows, but it has its advantages. Okay. Let's change this around. So now we're going to do, this is definitely a heating class. It's going to be only 90 today, so we're going to do some back bends. And I think back bends are very important to do when you're on your computer all day, whatever you're doing. So lie on your belly. You won't need the wall again for a while, so you can go back to your spots. Extend your arms back by your hips. Roll your thighs in. Engage your quadriceps. So keep your quadriceps well lifted. Come into Samabhasana. Lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your arms. Like in the beginning of class, Take your shoulder blades deep into your back to broaden across your collarbones. From just below the buttocks, lift your legs up. Use your hamstrings to lift your legs. Personally, I think it would be way too much forward bending as far as like lengthening the hamstrings without strengthening the hamstrings. Not in life, but in yoga class. And then come down. Take a breath. Roll your thighs in. Interlock your hands behind your back. So this, the interlock of the hands behind the back, actually brings your shoulder blades in for you for free. Lift your quadriceps, lift your legs, lift your chest, and extend your arms back towards your heels. And then maybe lift off your buttocks some. But at some point, lifting your arms too high is counterproductive. But just lift them enough that they're not resting. Lift your legs more. And come down. Change the interlock with your fingers. Lift your quadriceps, lift your legs, lift your chest, and lift your arms. Every time you start to get distracted, remind yourself to lift your legs more. You start thinking about what's for lunch, that might just be me, or you think about like, oh, you know, I have to return somebody's phone call, lift your legs more. That'll teach you. Exhale, come back up. Make a little pillow for the head, rest your forehead. All right, come up onto your elbows. Like you're doing Sphinx pose. Take your left arm across your body, so your forearm lines up with the short side of your mat, and bend your right leg. Then reach back and grab your right foot, and bring the foot down towards the hip. All right, so you can do this as a passive stretch. So you're pushing your foot down, and that's not passive, but the muscles of the leg are passive. So if you're stretching your quadricep, you need to activate your hamstring. So see, if you push against your foot, against your hand, you can activate your hamstring a little bit. Or if you pull your foot in consciously toward your hip, you can activate your hamstring a little bit. Or if you move your buttocks in, the area right below the buttocks, if you move that in, you can activate your hamstring a little bit. Then release that side. Back to your elbows, roll your thighs in. Take your right arm across, bend your left leg, reach back and grab the foot. And then push the foot toward its own hip, actually to the outside of its own hip, if it'll go there. And then see what you can do to activate the hamstring to get a better stretch in your quadricep. So for me, I push the top of the hamstring right where it hits the buttock into the floor. And that gives me a little more stretch in the quadricep. The sides and all that stuff. Then slowly release that foot. Come back to what's commonly called Sphinx pose. Now, if that didn't stretch your quadricep and you need more, from this position, you take your left hand underneath your shoulder. And with the left hand underneath your shoulder, you're going to lift your chest up like you were in Cobra. But first, I have to get my right leg in position. Push the hip down towards the floor, and then lift up. So, if the first one was a stretch, then you don't need to do this one. So, good news. But if it wasn't a stretch, then you have to do this one that's a little more active in the arms. You push your hand into the floor, push your buttocks down towards the floor, and push your foot towards your buttocks. Then slowly lower down and change sides. So in whatever position you're going to do, get your left foot in place, then lift your chest any amount. Push your left hip towards the floor. Or not. And then slowly lower back down. Now let's see if that quadricep little stretch helps Shalabhasana for you to lift up some. So bring your hands back alongside your hips. All right, see if you can engage your quadriceps here. Then, well, do engage your quadriceps here. See if you can engage your hamstrings here. Lift your legs up, lift your chest up, lift your arms up. So Shalabhasana one more time. With each external thought, think about lifting your legs more. For me, that's the heavy end. So it's harder to lift up. The chest lifts up pretty easily. Legs not so much. And come back down. Now we're going to put that together into Dhanurasana, bow pose. So bend both legs. Lift your chest. If you can, grab both legs at the same time. If not, don't worry about it. Grab one, grab the other. If you can't grab either leg, see if you can find a strap or two to put around your feet. Or, if that's not possible, you can do this without holding your ankles, but it is much harder to stay. It's a lot more work. So, in whatever position you're in, roll your shoulders away from the floor. All right, lift your legs, lift your chest, look forward. So here, the shoulder blades press into the back ribs, lifting the chest more. The feet kick into the hands, lifting the chest more. And then the hands and the hamstrings lift the legs as high as possible. Come back down, release. Another one. Bend your legs if you let them straighten. Grab your feet. Helps to do it with that big slapping noise. Roll your shoulders back. Then lift your legs, lift your chest, look forward, and kick into your hands to lift up a little higher. Lift your legs to lift up a little higher. Use your arms to lift up a little higher. The Dhanurasana, I'm going to keep your knees in line with your hips. They don't have to be together, but you don't want them going way apart. You won't be able to lift them up that way, for one thing. And you could feel some twingy stuff in your knees when you take them too far apart. And then exhale, come down. So camel, Ustrasana is coming next. So if you need padding under your shins, take it now, and then sit back on your heels. All right, so if you don't reach your heels, a bolster is almost ideal because it, I do have a bolster, it's just in the other room. I actually own one of those. If you have a bolster and you don't reach your heels, a bolster is ideal. Otherwise, whatever you got around will work. So if you want like some blankets, a couple blocks, but a lot of times in Iyengar land, they're not crazy about this. Because, well, this makes the heels definitely look closer. It cuts off your ability to press your shins into the floor. So I'll put a blanket there so you know where it goes. So it goes on your heels, and then when you sit down on your heels, one thing a blanket or a bolster does for me is it helps me ground down, especially underneath the ankle. There's all this weight, pressing down on the ankle, go down, all right. Come up to kneeling. So with a blanket, without a blanket, Ustrasana. All right, see if you can engage your quadriceps here, and not your quadriceps here, your hamstrings, and pushing your shins into the floor while it's subtle does engage your hamstrings a little. The hamstrings actually bend the knees, they don't straighten them, but just activating the muscles here will help. Take your hands on your top buttocks, push your buttocks down, lift your chest. Then remind yourself to keep your shins pressing into the floor as you press your shoulder blades into your back and lift your chest more. Then reach back for your heels or the bolster, or really you're reaching back for your heels even if there's a bolster on top. Pull your chin into your chest. Then keep your chin as close to your chest as possible as you take your head back. And for many people, that will release the neck and allow you to go back with comfort. Then to come up, you can pull your chin in again, or put your shins down, keep looking at the ceiling until you come all the way up. All right. We're going to do that again in case you're watching that time. And because you do more than one back then. I don't think I've ever been in a class where we just do one. All right. So press your shins into the floor, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, engage your hamstrings as much as possible. Your quadriceps will already be engaging because they're keeping you from going backwards. So hands on the tops of the buttocks, push the buttocks down, lengthen the new chest up, reach back, grab blanket, heels, and then take your head back, either by tucking your chin and slowly lowering it down, or flinging it back, probably not a good idea. And then to come up, press your shins into the floor and lift your head last. Sit back down on your heels. One more. Back up. All right. This time, if they'll reach, find a way to reach. So place your hands right at the top of the hamstring where the shorts end. You're wearing Kuna shorts. And push that area forward. Roll your shoulders back. Then take the middle buttocks, push that area forward, roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest away from the buttocks, and then take your hands down toward your heels and your head back. Ustrasana, camel pose. Press your shins into the floor. Lift yourself back up and come down away from the pose. You're gonna lie on your back for Chatushpadasana. Bring your heels in close to your hips. Be there for a moment. Then press your heels down, lift your hips up halfway. You can grab your ankles if they're nearby. If they're not, grab the sides of the mat. Roll your shoulders under. So you're on the tops of your shoulders. And then you press your heels into the floor. And the pressure of the heels into the floor lifts the area right at the bottom of the buttocks up towards the ceiling. At the same time, don't crowd your neck by jamming your chest into your face, which you can do. And I did it for years. I hated this pose because what I would do is I'd push my feet forward, like towards the toe side, and that would push my chest into my neck, and it would stretch out my neck, and I hated it. So you want to lift up, and if your chest comes closer to your neck because you're lifting up, that won't jam your neck as much, or the muscles of your neck around there, and over-stretch them. Then slowly lower your hips back down. Rest. All right. So now you're either going to set up for Sarvangasana, or you're just going to take Chatushpadasana at the wall, or a chair. You can also use a chair. But all you do is you put your feet at the wall, and you're a little further away from the wall than when we do it in class. I guess I'll put it over here so you can see. So in class, you try to get as close to the wall as possible, but here you want a little bit of an angle because you don't want to get all the way on top of your shoulders without any support. But if you didn't have any props, you could do a shoulder stand like this. All right? This is somewhere in between Chatushpadasana and shoulder stand. Otherwise, get your setup. With all the back bend, one of the advantages of back bends is it makes shoulder stand so much more pleasant. Because it opens the area of your chest that you need open to have a comfortable neck in shoulder stand. So I have 4 blankets. Even if you only had one, it would probably be more comfortable. So I'm setting up the 4 blankets. I have lots of padding under my head because of the floor that I'm on. If you had carpet, you wouldn't need padding under your head. I have a little sticky mat for my elbows. Now here, like the thing we did in the beginning where we were rolling back and forth, here's where it comes in handy. So to come into Salamba Sarvangasana, supported shoulder stand or supported all body pose, I roll my shoulders under. I have a support under my hips to keep them in line with the rest of my torso, and it just helps me come up. And then I'm going to roll my legs in towards my chest and over my head. You can have a chair for your feet. You can also measure for the wall, but I wasn't teaching that today. So once I'm over in Balasana, I roll my shoulders under
as much as I can. I'm sure there's a point where it's too much, but there always is. Then I take my hands as low down my back as possible, and you can do that too. And then I can go up with one leg at a time. Or I give my hand a little bit of wiggle room because my body's going to move back. And up, 2 legs. And then once I'm up, once you're up, in whatever position you're in, you're not going upside down, you just did the wrong class. My mistake, sorry. So in whatever position you're in, you can still activate that area right at the base of the buttocks, move that area forward as you take your heels back, and I'll keep you in better alignment. But at the same time, you have to keep the softness in the jaw and the neck. Don't rip your teeth, don't press your tongue anywhere. You can let your tongue float, or you can rest it in the base of your mouth. Again, you can choose legs hip distance apart or legs together. This was a fairly warming class. I'm pretty sweaty myself. So, you know, you might want legs apart even if you don't have the warm middle-aged women jeans. Body type. So here, most of the weight should be on your shoulders. Not on your head, not on your elbows, actually, on your shoulders. So if your heels, hips, and shoulders line up, it's like handstand, where if everything lines up, the pose is slightly lighter. If you move your legs back, there's a lot more weight on the elbows. If you move your legs forward, which very few people do, there's more weight on the head. So just like when we do the beginning seated postures, we move back and forth, you can use the lower half of the body, the one that's up in the air, to judge where the weight is and how well you're lined up by pretending the lower half of your body is the pendulum. So for me, this pose, I feel most of the weight on the along the spine of the scapula, which is the top portion. Probably shouldn't use anatomical terms without looking them up. Anyway, it's the top portion of the shoulder blade. While we're here, keep your left leg where it is, lower your right leg halfway down. And lift your right leg up, lower your left leg halfway down. Lift your left leg up. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to do something that was almost never taught. Take your right leg halfway down. Now take your left leg as far back as it will go. Then take your right leg further down. And take your left leg further back. And your right leg further down. And your left leg further back. Now there might be more weight in your elbows at this point. That's okay. Come back to center. Reestablish your shoulder stand. Take your left leg halfway up. Take your right leg back. And then once the right leg pulls the left leg up, move the left leg down. And then once the left leg pulls the right leg forward, take the right leg down. So until you're in a split. And bring your legs back up. Take your feet over your head. Roll out.
Be there for a moment. So if your feet were on the wall, you come down. I should have remembered that I had people with their feet on the wall and that they shouldn't have done the leg forward and back. Although I don't. Anyway. Now move yourself toward your head side and rest your shoulders on the floor. And bring your knees toward your chest, roll to your side, come up. If you have this big stack of blankets, you're gonna sit on the stack of blankets with your legs forward. So even if you're flexible, you'll be on this stack. And then come forward. Not a lot, just a little, press your thighs down. If you hyperextend your legs, you could probably have something under your knees. All right, come back up. And you're gonna, if you still have the stack, you're gonna use it. If not, you're not gonna use it, obviously. But you're gonna place your hips on the stack or on the floor and draw your knees in. And just let them rest there like an upside down child's pose. Pull them in or just leave them. They might just sit there. And then roll to your side and lift yourself up. So if we're going towards Shavasana, if you're feeling any twinge left in your back, you can just take your blankets, make a nice little, just roll them up halfway, and rest your calves, your knees on the blankets for Shavasana. Or if you don't have that, and you're still feeling a twinge in your back, you take your feet apart and your knees together. So that looks like this. And that will rest your back as well. So lie down in Shavasana. Roll your shoulders under. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. And use the next few moments to focus on your breath. Feel the way the breath moves in and out of the body. Bring your focus there. And when you get distracted, bring your focus back to the areas that you have some sensation, feeling of the breath. Deepen your breath. Bring your knees in toward your chest. Roll to your side. Use your hands to lift yourself back up to seated. Take your arms wide, lift your chest. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Think of something you're grateful for. Namaste. Thank you all for participating today. And
Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mary. It was super. Loved it.
Oh.
Loved it.
Yeah,
okay, so you like these sweaty?
I like this
Reminds
one.
me of dancing.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any questions? I'll hang around for a minute, but if not, then.
I've been working on the back bend, and I have a really hard time lifting up with my wrists bent like that. I can do it on the sides.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
What do you suggest? How do I work on strengthening my wrists to where they do go that way and be strong?
Well, to have them go this way, I
Mhm.
mean, wait, let's see, this way, is actually
Yeah.
more a flexibility thing than a strength thing. I mean, you could do wrist curls, but there you go. This way, just having your hands turn this way will, and then if you need more, you bend your elbows. Or you walk back.
Mhm.
So that the angle
looks like you just broke your arms.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so that's a good.
Okay, so that's more of
Ouch. That is painful.
yeah, well, I wouldn't go quite that far, but I mean, I think that's more of a flexibility thing, especially for you, Sopo, than a strength thing. Strength would be holding plank, holding chaturanga in the wrist, even down dog or something like that, handstand. This angle is just not something we do all the time. Or
I'll be working on this.
you're working on, are you trying to do this pose?
No, I'm just bridge. I've been working on the bridge.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So then bridge, it's the same kind of angle except turn the other way. Yeah, it's, I mean, you could put some angled blocks and that helps a lot of people, but I don't think it's a strength issue.
Okay.